Welcome to The Lock Shop with Nielson and Hustler.
All right, it is 11:02 on The Lock Shop. Thank you very much for being here today as our great day of coverage continues. Here and only here at Edmonton Sports Talk. We got the oil stream coming up at noon today, EST afternoons, if Hernan ever comes into work. That'll be from 1 to 3 today. And then the Reed Wilkins Show from 3 until 6. Maverick, first over in the YouTube chat. That's right, Maverick. You were first. Big Hugh says, shout out to Duck Dad for his little bet all defensemen to score system last night. Nurse and Wallman, let's go. That was a nice way to go about it. My prediction yesterday on the Nielsen Show was there was going to be a defenseman to score. I did not know that Duck Dad had decided to bet on all of the Oilers defensemen to score. But it made sense because when I was leaving after the game last night, in my mind, I was thinking, I wonder what would have happened if you would have bet on all, like, the 5 Oilers defensemen to score. And turns out it was good for everybody who rolled with us or rolled with Duck Dad yesterday. That's great. The Lock Shop brought to you by Play Alberta. Many of you have already probably used our codes in May. We will reload these bad boys in June, but if you have not yet used it, how about this one? Deposit $5, get a $50 free bet with the code YEG50. $5 deposit, $50 free bet. Code is YEG50. You can use these once per month. They're for new and existing users. If you've not yet downloaded the Play Alberta app, go download the app as well. And my favorite thing about the app is right when you log into the app or when it loads, EST specials, you can't miss it, which is nice. My app loads right onto the sports page, and then like right there, right under daily specials, EST specials, kind of in the middle at the top. Perfect. You can click on that. You can see what we've got posted so far today. There's a couple already. I put something together here at the end of the Lock Shop. Jay will have his play of the day, and the DGen Den is working on the Grand Est of parlays as well, and we'll have that for you. So far, we've got this, the early bird bet from the Nielsen Show this morning, Panthers and Cavs, 2 teams that got to have it. Cleveland's too good a basketball team to go down 3-0, and I think Florida returning home here. They'll get this one, and then we'll see how the series plays out. That one is up. So a Cavs-Panthers moneyline parlay, plus 136. And then I just posted it on Twitter, and it's already up on the EST specials page. And Huss had mentioned this a little bit yesterday, but Kyle Connor to score a goal, and we got that to plus 140 right now. So if you like Kyle Connor to score in a big game for the Jets tonight, plus 140, which is a really nice number. So you can find all that in the EST specials page over at Play Alberta. All right. I just looked up. All right, let's bring us from WST today. That is up, my man.
Anytime goal, Kyle Connor.
Right?
It was meant to be.
There's no way this guy doesn't score with 10,000 of those things there tonight.
Exactly. And you know what else is hilarious, dude? They have apparently, and I take a lot of pride in this because I can tell you unequivocally, the popularization of calling Kyle Connor KFC comes from our show. We've been doing
a WST bit
for 4 years. How many times have I referred to him? I mean, going for a long time. So anyways, they have completely remade the outside of one of the KFCs on Portage Avenue with this Colonel as opposed to the original Colonel for the game today. So I'm quite excited about the game tonight. I have no doubt that Kyle Connor, KFC, will get one tonight. And Jets got to have it. And it's funny, they were an underdog, a slight dog in game number 1. But it's certainly not the case today, and that is because there's some great news on Winnipeg side of things.
Yes, there is.
Josh Morrissey is back, or it looks like he'll be back. So for the first time in this entire playoffs, they'll pretty much have a healthy, full lineup tonight. Logan Stanley's still out, and it looks like Luke Schen's actually going to be out tonight, and they're going to end up rolling with Colin Miller and Hayden Fleury.
But you had talked about that a little bit in the last series. I remember you talking about that. Yeah.
Well, listen, Fleury came in, I think, in the Blues series. I mean, dude, that was just such a bloodbath. I still, like, looking back, I was just talking with Marty Baron, comparing that series to the others, and it was so physical. I mean, the Blues basically tried to just physically beat the Winnipeg Jets, and they did a good job of knocking some guys out, and they almost did it. But this Dallas series is so different that I think the puck moving abilities of Miller and of Fleury probably helped the team out a little bit more. And Miller's got a huge shot. I mean, he's really well put.
He's had a bomb for a while, hasn't he? Yeah.
Oh my God, he was playing PP2. I'm not sure whether that'll still be the case with Pionk being there, and now with Morrissey presumably taking his place back on PP1. But I'll tell you what, it is an absolutely gorgeous spring day here in the Peg. The trees are blooming, and it is a great day to win a hockey game and tie up this series at 1-1. And maybe if we do that, the people of Winnipeg can come even close to the euphoria that Oiler fans are feeling right now after that game last night. Oh my God, I was texting you, Jeremy.
When did you text me? Were they up 3-2? Was that after they kind of took over the game?
They just went to 3-1.
Okay, 3-1. Yeah, that's
shortly after that, it went to 3-2.
Yeah.
And listen, Vegas is a really good team. I mean, they certainly pushed back. Shout out Rick Bowness. They had the pushback last night. And I thought that the Oilers actually were screwed after they didn't score on the 5-minute power play in OT. But listen, when things are going your way, I was stunned that was it Arvidsson didn't get a penalty?
It was Arvidsson in overtime. Yeah, it's been talked about a little bit in the market today.
Well, hey, listen. I mean, sometimes you get breaks. I mean, you don't apologize for it. It's not on that. I mean, if you're Vegas, you are pissed though right now. I mean, I don't think there's any doubt about it. By the way, I don't know if you saw this. So my man Lawless was on Spit and Chicklets earlier this week.
Yeah.
And so he was on with Witt, and he was talking about some Winnipeg stuff. But I said, hey, we should talk to whatever. I was just talking to him about Whitney and maybe connecting with them. And he goes, well, I am at war with him now because he's Oiler guy. And Gary, of course, is Vegas guy. Well, Whitney last night tweeted during the game, I can't believe that Vegas jock sniffer at Gary Lawless told me they have a much better goalie. Gary.
That was good.
Hey, they really are at war. Oh, man.
Hey, how's this for us? So let's dive into this Oilers game here for a bit. How's this for a beat? Because Steven, who also can't burp, I hadn't read his name yet. I can't burp. It's a well-known thing on the show. I've never burped in my entire life. I'm like missing the muscle, it's a thing. Look it up, us. It's an actual, it's a thing. It's like a medical diagnosis for it for people who can't burp. Anyway, I can't burp. And Steven over in the chat.
Did you just fart a lot then?
Look, I was just saying, I'm pretty gassy. I'm a pretty gassy guy. Yeah. I'm a pretty gassy guy. And when my wife gets mad at me, I'm like, I can't burp. I physically can't do it. I mean, what do you want?
The other end, sorry.
Yeah. Anyway, Steven says, his handle is Steven, who also can't burp. I was sad my $50 free bet on Dusty's play of the day yesterday didn't pay. And this could be considered an all-time bad beat because the play of the day yesterday was Draisaitl to be +1 or better in the hockey game. So I just need him to be a plus player. And on the Darnell Nurse goal, he was on the ice. He kind of affected the play and then turned up to go change. And when Nurse scored, when we started cheering at the pub last night, I'm like, +1, Draisaitl is +1. And he was going off the ice. Nuge was coming on. And I guess maybe they just give the plus to the person who's coming on, even though they're both still technically on the ice. So that's how we lost the play of the day yesterday. which is a major buzzkill. I was refreshing like that game sheet you can get at NHL.com, and I'm going through it, and I'm like, no, he was on the ice. He was on the ice for the Nurse goal. And apparently, because Nuge had already come over the boards, even though Leon hadn't stepped off, got hosed last night. That was a tough one to swallow. I'm not gonna lie.
That is brutal. You know what? I heard that, and I'm like, I'll be honest. Like, I thought we had bet on literally everything we could have ever possibly bet on. I don't remember ever.
I know.
Remember a bet on a plus.
Yeah. I looked at it yesterday. I'm going through all the different odds, and I see plus minuses. I'm like, come on. I can bet on plus minus. And you know what? You know what the real kick in the balls was? Let me bring up last night's game because the Golden Knights had a couple of power play goals. So there were a number of Oilers forwards who finished as plus forwards last night. And then it's like Leon just sort of stands out. So here we go. Let's see. Podkolzin +2. Nuge +2. Arvidsson +2. Hyman +2. McDavid +1. Perry +1. Leon Draisaitl 0. Just even. I thought we hit it.
The Nuge +2 is even tougher to take because and that's the thing
exactly
so crazy about plus minus. I mean it is.
I can see myself diving back into plus minus at some point. I'll tell you that.
Time for a lawsuit.
I see that. And that's the thing. It's not against the book. It's against the NHL for having these botched plus. I mean, Draisaitl, his pressure essentially led to that goal. His feet are still on the ice, and he doesn't get the plus for that. Please.
And
it's not. What if it's like at men's league when you're going out for a change and you stop and you wait, and then they go on a breakaway and score, and you go, oh, +1 for me, and then you step off.
I will say this. That might be, maybe this is a good lesson. That might be a dangerous market to dip your toes into because in the world we live in right now, I think the NHL knows that the stats are very important because of people betting on the games. So they're very, they make sure they get the right assist. You often see, scoring changes afterwards. Even with things like shots. You'll often see shots given and then shots taken away after connect. I don't think I've ever heard a stat correction on a plus minus ever because I don't think that's a focus at all. Like you legitimately have a very good argument on that. And I mean, if they don't count a shot, they hear about and they have to go and check it. As I said, that's just such a unique market that I'm not sure that's kind of a priority for them. And we all know people like say, plus minus is what it is. It's a very flawed stat. So,
I do like the idea of a class action lawsuit from Edmonton Sports Talk on the National Hockey League. It's time. What happened? Well, we figured out we could bet plus minus one time. And the very first time we did it, Leon's feet were still on the ice when the goal was scored, but Nuge got the plus. Now your case, NHL. What's your case? Show me the rule book where who determines the plus minus. Now, with that being said, I do know some of the scorekeepers down in Calgary. So maybe this is my way to weasel my way in there and be like, hey, here you go. I'll give you $20. Nobody's watching. Give me the plus. Give me the plus on Rasmus Anderson tonight, please. With that being said, we have to stricken what I just said from the record for the class action lawsuit that we're going to.
Mac Ramala has that one in the bag for you guys.
Yeah,
you can bring that up with your lawyer.
This is all him. Hey, how about Calvin Pickard, Huss? What a story is being written here by Calvin Pickard. 6-0, the first goaltender in the history of the National Hockey League, regular season or playoffs, to start 6 consecutive team games and win them all despite his team trailing at some point in the games. His save percentage in the third period has been around .950. His save percentage in overtime is still perfect. And he let in 4 goals last night, but he made some huge saves for the Oilers last night. I thought he was outstanding.
Yeah, he has been a pretty incredible story, man. There's no doubt about it. I mean, when you think about all the conversations around the Oilers coming into the playoffs, and I think last year's run. So remind me again, last year's run started off with Skinner, he was out for a while, and then he came back in and ended up being the guy going all the way.
Yeah, it was the Vancouver series where Pickard kind of came in and saved the day. And then Skinner was really good in the later stages against Dallas. And then it was basically just his net the rest of the way. And we said last night, it was a relatively evenly played game between the two clubs. Pickard was better than Aiden Hill last night. And if you had to just look at one player as being the biggest reason, not the only reason, but the biggest reason the Oilers won that game last night, I think the answer from most fans would probably unanimously be some of the key saves from Pickard in that hockey game. So, there was some talk going into the series that, it's Pickard's net until when will Skinner get back into this thing? I think he's won 6 in a row, so he's not coming on anytime soon. But I think the way that he played last night and some of the saves that he made, it might be his net the rest of the way. Like, I don't know how you take that guy away from the group right now.
I mean, listen, if he has a brutal game or a couple bad games,
has to be two minimum. If it's one, I think you got to run it back with him.
I think, especially now with where they are in the series, like up. But listen, that's a great position to be in. Skinner has plenty of time for a reset. He'll be very motivated when he comes back in. If he does come back in to, kind of steal his job back, I'm sure he still feels like he is the number one on the team. But right now, when you got a hot goalie that's getting you wins. And the funny thing is, I've heard a lot of people talk about, the playoffs. He's got an .891 save percentage.
Yeah.
But I throw all of that out right now because, again, I think it's a fool's exercise to dive into save percentage in such small sample sizes. You want to tell me about a guy's save percentage over a few months, over a season? For sure. But listen, 1 or 2 goals that a goalie has absolutely no chance of saving, which often happens, completely skews that number. And then you look at like overtime, the third period last night, once things were tied up with the saves that he made. And those single game save percentages, I just find it lazy. And it really doesn't tell the story. That stat is more a number. Listen, all it is dividing goals by shots. So tell me how the goals went in. If you're telling me a guy made 2, let in 2 muffins, like we can talk a lot about Hellebuck's save percentage in the first round. That was a save percentage that, to be honest, maybe flattered him with a couple of the goals that went in, certainly at times. So Pickard's getting the job done right now. 6 wins in a row. And I think the team it's very clear the team has just growing confidence in him. And yeah, I'm with you right now. I think that if he has a bad game, I think they roll him back out and keep rolling with him. And you know what? If you lose a couple, you got Stuart Skinner to come back, and I think he'll be ready to bounce back. So it is incredible, dude, where this team was after the first 2 games.
Yeah.
Well, hell, after 55 minutes of game 3, that we're sitting here talking about a team that is up 2-0 coming home against the Vegas Golden Knights and 2 wins away from booking their ticket to the Western Conference Final.
If we were to set the number at 0.5 for games suspended for Waugh after one of the stupidest cross-checks you'll ever see in your life. He has a hearing today. Do you think it's actually a game? Would you be taking the over 0.5, or is it a hearing and a fine?
In any other situation, I would say over for sure.
Yeah.
But in this case, he did get a 5-minute major and a game misconduct in overtime in the playoffs. So, and to be honest, I think the NHL, not that this should be the case.
I know exactly what you're going to say. I said it today. I know exactly what's going to happen here.
I have a feeling they kind of realized that Vegas did They absolutely got punished for something that they should have been with that 5-minute major. But in a lot of ways, they feel like the game got turned on a penalty that should have been called against them. So I'm thinking maybe he gets the old $2,500 and time served and will be in for the game. But under most circumstances, it's an automatic. It's more than one game.
Yeah.
Probably 3 or 4. But in this case, because of the way the game did last night, and I'm not saying that that's right, it wouldn't surprise me if he actually didn't get suspended and is in there for game number 3.
If you want to chime in on that, 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. Once just again to clarify before Oilers fans get all hot and heavy on Huss here, you're not saying that that's what you would agree with. You're saying that's how you think it's going to be played out. Yeah.
Yeah, I just think that Vegas is going to get a favorable decision because the call that didn't go their way at the end of overtime was somewhat influential in the game last night. And they had to play 5 minutes against Connor McDavid and the Edmonton Oilers shorthanded in overtime in a playoff game. So, like, if they had missed the call, for sure, 100% he's getting a game. But, I mean, put it this way. I'd far rather have a 5-minute power play in overtime than have a guy suspended for a game. So, like, put it this way. I don't think the Oilers or their fans are really going to care. They got the win last night. That's what counts. That's what matters. And listen, Roy's good. He can be a pain in the ass. But, I mean, hell, maybe having him in the lineup helps the Oilers.
That's what we said today. Don't suspend him.
Something stupid and give your guys another power play that'll be happening. So,
you know what I think? The Golden Knights, they're down 2-0. They're heading out on the road. What I think they should probably be most concerned about, Huss, is that they've done a pretty decent job of containing McDavid and Draisaitl and are still down 2-0. Last night we said it on the post game, and I said it again first thing on our show this morning. Draisaitl and McDavid kind of owed it to the team to win it in overtime last night. Their line was probably the most disappointing based on expectations of the 4 lines that Knoblauch kept rolling out there last night. So if you're Vegas, you're not done yet. You're going on the road. Let's see what happens if you can get game 3. And maybe they can continue to relatively contain 97 and 29, but you've done a pretty good job on it so far, better than you did against Boldy and Kaprizov, and you're still down 2-0. I think you're muted, Huss.
They're in a very, very bad place right now. And man, Saturday night, tomorrow night, game 3, what's that building going to be like in Edmonton?
It's going to be insane, man. That moss pit is going to be overflowing. Saturday.
You know what? I'm going to check out. I'm going to pull up Fans First here right now. Have you guys been following what the resale market has been like?
We've been hammering the hell out of Fans First because it's the best ticket value you'll be able to find, and they're a partner with Winnipeg Sports Talk too.
For sure. The bottom line is, you don't get, like, when you look at how much tickets are, you don't get whacked another 30% like you do on all the other sites. $350 is the get-in price.
$350 get-in price. This is not Madison Square Garden, but still.
That's actually not bad. Those 3, the ones at $350 in row 10, $218. That's pretty much that's in on the side in the attack zone for the where the Oilers are shooting twice. But the bottom line is it's basically $350 to $400. Maybe those will come down. There's a lot of seats in between $350 and $375. But like we've just been seeing, and I mean, a Saturday night game too. Like, it's been interesting to kind of follow the Fans First for Winnipeg. Obviously, game 7 was insane. Tonight's game has been really was the game, where you're starting off, you're hosting, right? So you potentially have 4 games. The first 2 are in Winnipeg, and it's a Wednesday night with an 8:50 start or Friday night. So I think everyone wanted to be there on the Friday night. So yeah, we're seeing the same sort of thing. I mean, for Winnipeg, price is pretty high, about $225 get in. But I knew that up 2-0 Saturday night game against Vegas, that place is going to be nuts, and that is going to be the hottest ticket in town. By the way, question in the chat, Big Uke, wondering, what is up with, where did I just miss this? Well, I got to go back a little bit more.
Chat's flying today. Chat's hopping. I love it.
Big time. Anyone else curious what flavor is in Hustler's booster juice? I'm thinking strawberry, banana, or rum and Coke. I have been very sick the last couple of days.
That's why you're booster juicing. I was wondering why you're having a booster juice. I should have thought about that.
So I went over and they have a new dragon fruit flavor, which I'm trying for the first time. And I must say, it's wonderful, very refreshing. And even better yet, Dusty, and I didn't even know this, I roll in and they said, you know what? It's a Jets playoff game day. So we've got a special. Buy one, get one. So I actually got two
booster juices.
So
I almost got a booster juice yesterday myself.
Positive.
Yeah.
Positive. And maybe they have that in Edmonton. I'm not sure. You'll have to check your local booster juice.
Well, yeah, there's just one that opened down in Mayfield Common, which isn't far from here. I went down yesterday. Gager cleaned the bathroom here at Edmonton Sports Talk. I was talking about how nobody was praising him and giving him his flowers. So yesterday afternoon, I went down and bought him flowers from Save-On and brought them back. But the booster juice is right by Save-On, and I almost went in and got myself a booster juice. Then on the way home after, I got a smoothie from McDonald's, and it was an all-time backfire. I mean, that was not a good decision. I should have got the booster juice.
I'll be honest. When I'm going,
you're not going to McDonald's for a smoothie.
Getting a smoothie. I get a Big Mac and a smoothie, please.
I was hoping that nobody saw me because I only ordered a smoothie. I didn't get anything else. I was like, I'll have a smoothie, please. And
what precipitated that? Like, had you had them before and they were good, or you just, I want to?
No, I don't know. I was just, you know what I should have got? I should have just got a bloody milkshake. You know, what am I doing here? Might as well just get a strawberry milkshake from McDonald's if that's what's going to happen.
Strawberry shake, interesting.
Anyway, Booster Juice. That's a company I still want to try to get our hands on as a partner. They're a monster and they're local. It's Edmonton. It's in Edmonton. It started here, I think.
What, Booster Juice?
Yeah.
Really?
I'm pretty sure somebody or the owners of somebody will know this. Text
I
us.
assume that they're franchised in some ways because I think Wade Miller, who of course is the president and CEO of the Bombers, before he was the Bombers, he was the guy that had the booster juices in town, and probably still does. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, the first ever booster juice was opened in Sherwood Park, 1999.
Interesting.
So, yeah, there we go.
I see Smitty the welder having fun with me. Pickard better than Helly. And then, hey, listen,
we might get to see it. We might get to see it.
We might get to see that. I would say be careful what you wish for. However, shout out to another great Winnipeg guy helping out the city of Edmonton and the Edmonton Oilers. I know people look and say, oh, he was born in Moncton, New Brunswick. I mean, he lived there for a year or something like that. I mean, that is a kid that was raised on the streets of Peg City, former Winnipeg Monarch. Both he and his brother came through Winnipeg minor hockey and started here. And Chet is done playing hockey now. I think he is he's in charge of development or something for a group called Play Hockey. I'm not really that familiar with it, but I think it's like running rec leagues and those sort of things. Anyways, he's all over that. But yeah, no, Pickard.
Chet awesome. Was a first rounder. That's right.
Yeah, no, they've got a lot of fans in this group. But I have to ask you one other question, Dusty.
Okay.
And this is from an earlier comment in the chat. And yes, this is from Big Uke. Dusty cannot burp, and LTE remembers his birth.
Yeah.
EST hosts are wild. Eric claims to remember being born.
Yeah, and that's also a thing. Like, we looked it up because I called him on that too. I was like, come on, you can't remember that. And somebody else texted, oh, Corey the Butcher, a partner at Acme Meats. He too remembers being born, which is it's a thing, us. It's another one of those medical.
How did he describe it?
Miracles. I don't know. Eric, are you still here? Hey, come in here for a sec.
Yeah.
Go put on mic 1 there. Just turn up mic 1 instead of that. The red button right on the left. Left? No, down low. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, and now hit the red button. There we go. Huss is wondering
Hi,
what it was like being born. It just came up. Do you remember?
There's a medical term for it if you Google it on the internet. But no, I remember
Do you remember like being freezing cold or something? Or
no, I remember coming out and a yellow wall.
What? Okay, so it was in the hospital. It was a yellow wall.
Yeah.
So that's it. You sort of. That's all you.
I remember getting my diapers changed. I'm not joking. I know it's weird, and you can make fun of me. I've heard it all before, but it's a medical thing. Google Corey the Butcher.
Corey the Butcher. That's what I just said. Corey
He
the
has it
Butcher's
too.
the
It's
same
not
thing.
a lot of people, but it's one of those things I suffer from.
So what do you think is crazier? Me not being able to burp my entire life, or Eric remembering the day he was born and his diapers being changed now too?
I mean, I gotta say, I think my mind is more blown by remembering being born. Like remembering, I had never heard this. The thought of that. I mean, I'm trying to think of what my first and oldest memory is. I have a vague memory of like of trying to climb out of my crib.
Yes.
And the first time I understood what pain really was, because I think I kind of caught my sack on the crib. and I remember there was some sort of like, they had to put peroxide on it or something like that. That's about the first. That's my earliest memory.
Huss, I need to see a baby picture of you, man. You gotta get your mom and dad to send. Thank you for coming in, Eric. God,
Eric, that's a beauty. It's a beauty thing. I'm gonna research more on this.
Yeah. It's I guess it's one of those things. C-Rod says my earliest is about 2 years old. Yeah, I'm trying to think. I mean, I remember a lot of stuff from kindergarten. I'm trying to think before kindergarten, and I'm not too sure. That's a great story though, Huss. Jeez. My God. Just little baby Huss climbing on the crib. Ah, my sack. Yeah. So your parents come in, you're hanging off the crib by your sack.
My mom was freaking out about it. That's I think there was so much commotion about it. That's why it was one of those memories that my first memory, first bit of trauma. Okay,
my God,
the chat is off the rails right now.
That's too good.
Much like the show.
Yeah,
but,
the show. Yeah, it's completely off the rails.
Have you talked to your mom just quickly going down this not burping thing?
Yeah,
babies get burped. Like, was your mom worried? Oh my God, my baby. Little Dustin, we're trying to burp. Am I not doing my motherly duties right? He won't burp, doctor.
My mom was 17 years old when she had me, so I don't think she was. Yeah, she's probably thinking, "What the hell am I going to do with this kid?"
Read all the books yet?
Yeah, like she was still finishing Math 12. I don't think she was diving into baby books. So the only thing my parents always tell me when I was a baby is that. My mom, this might explain a lot with me, but my mom would get so frustrated with me, she'd bounce me up and down on the bed like a basketball, and I was just like boom, bouncing as a baby. So I mean, maybe that has something to do with my inability to burp. I don't know. Maybe that's from you know what? Maybe I wonder if it's this. When I was little, like before I even turned 1, when I was little, like a baby still, I got there was this breathing thing called croup. Have you heard of croup? Where you can't breathe. So I had croup really bad when I was a baby, and they had me on the emergency table and were going to cut my throat so I could breathe. And then I would have had like a little sort of hole in my throat. And like right before they were going to operate, I started breathing on my own. I must have been playing with them. I must have been like, let's see how far we can go here. And then when they're about to cut me. So I wonder if that's tied into the burp thing. Maybe that is decided to do it. There be yeah. Hey, Mr. B, I'm going to Winnipeg in August. Where's your local hangout, hustler? Matt Hyman nailed it. Win City, as Dusty knows, probably my number one. But I'm available. You fire me a tweet. Any ES tiers. Always love to meet up. I would say if you go to Winnipeg, like pretty much any night, but maybe Friday, Saturday, if you go from about 8 o'clock to 11 o'clock and just rotate between Hooters, BP, and Win City, you'll find Huss.
Yeah, I mean 8 to 11, like that's.
Oh, sorry, 10 to 2. 10 to 2. Yeah,
it's a full-time job.
Full-time gig.
8-hour shift.
All right, it's the Lock Shop. It is brought to you by Play Alberta. I will just say this about the Capitals Canes game last night. The under is going to be a steady cashing bet in that series pretty much the rest of the way, is it not?
I think you're right. And I did not touch that game last night. I'm on Washington for the series. I was so rattled after game number 1. I can't remember whether it was on this show or on WST yesterday, did just a full mea culpa going, guys, I have the worst feeling I've had about a wager in a long time after watching that game with just how relentless Carolina was on the puck and Washington's inability to do anything in game number 1. No, I didn't see the entire game, but I watched the second half and I thought the Caps looked like an entirely different team. And Tom Wilson, oh my God. I got some people that I know that are big Caps guys, watch all the games. They said that was right up there with the best games that he's ever played. Goal and an assist, absolute force out there. So listen, huge win for the Caps, and we've got a series right now. They're still going to have to steal one in Carolina, which is not going to be easy. But they're in the situation that Winnipeg is in tonight. They got to have it. You do not want to be the Vegas Golden Knights who have to go on the road, scratch out at minimum one just to stay alive, but realistically win both on the road to get back into this series. So credit to the Caps for getting it done. And obviously Winnipeg, Winnipeg now, they're favorites tonight. We got a 5. What are you seeing? 5.5 for the total in that game?
Yeah, 5.5.
It was 3. Let's see. It was, I'm thinking about Jet wins so far this year. They beat Dallas 3 times, lost 1. The one loss was in Dallas and it was a 2-1 game with an empty netter. But there were 3 wins this year for Winnipeg over Dallas. 2 of them were 4-1. One of them was 4-0. So I think that the under makes sense in this game. The Jets got that lead, but again, just Rantanen had one of those games, and I think you just have to make sure that doesn't happen again. They're going to be pushing it and hopefully spending a little bit more time in the Stars and have Rico Rantanen defending. But what about Toronto, Florida? We didn't really get into that too much.
Yeah, is this just an automatic win for Florida, we think, and they're right back in this series, or it's the approach I took, but I'm not going to sit here and say I'm 100% confident in it. And the Leafs have never done this to me before, but the Leafs have even sort of put a seed of doubt in me to fade them in this spot, which I think for Florida or for Toronto, there's a lot of other things they've accomplished, but mission accomplished in my mind. You've gone and made me somewhat wonder if Florida, now at minus 250, you're not going to play it alone. I did decide to put it in a money line parlay with the Cleveland Cavaliers, who I think are too good a basketball team to go down 3-0 here as well. So it's Florida and Cleveland. You can find that over an EST specials page, but Florida, usually in this spot against previous Leafs teams, if a previous Leafs team was up 2-0 going up against a Florida Panthers team that we've seen the last couple of years, I would have been like 100% Florida is winning this game. Now I'm like 85% sure they're going to win it. There's that little seed of doubt that the Leafs have earned in this situation.
Absolutely. And you're kind of seeing Florida, like Brad Marchand, I think we talked about this yesterday, saying, hey, this is a different Leafs team than, I've been abusing and beating in the playoffs seemingly every year for my entire career. So they've got Florida's attention. There's no doubt about that. One of the things that I was listening today to, maybe it was 32 Thoughts, but they were talking about Sam Bennett in game number 2. And they said Sam Bennett did not look like Sam Bennett at all.
You're telling me I had him for a point. I thought it was going to be an automatic.
Yeah. And he wasn't going into those areas where he normally was. He was sort of shying away from stuff. And I'm not sure whether he is, kind of on pins and needles, knowing if he does anything, he could very well be getting another call from NHL player safety. But the Panthers, they got to get back to what makes them, the defending Stanley Cup champions. And I have no doubt that they will physically challenge the Toronto Maple Leafs tonight. But I think what we're seeing of this Leafs team is that Craig Berube, and listen, through a lot of painful losses, you learn lessons that way. And maybe this is their time to finally get over the hump. I mean, it's a big number for them to win on the road. I think it's still tough to back them thinking they'd be going up 3-0, but I'm sort of with you. Like, I went from this is just an automatic, just put it in for Florida, to Florida's going to have to be really good to win. And I think in other times, this would have been an automatic puck line bet.
Yeah, you're right. That's true. I would agree with you. Yeah.
And right now, I mean, I could still see this being a very, very tight game. I think all of these games are going to be closely contested. What do you think about these hoops tonight? 5.5 point favorites?
I want to stick with hockey for 1 second, Huss, because we talked about the Jets and Stars. You talked about Kyle Connor, but who else are you expecting to step up tonight for the Jets? Like, are there another one or two players that you think sort of rise to the occasion tonight? Does a Mark Scheifele game, or what else do you think?
Yes. I mean, listen, I'm actually liking Scheifele to, and I guess this is part of it. I'll put together something for WST today, which is going to be a Kyle Connor goal, but I think a couple for Scheifele. He came back and he was very good in game number 1. Obviously he got knocked out. He missed most of 6 and all of 6 and all of game 7. And he, like the team, took a little bit of time to get going. But man, he looked good as it went. And the one thing that didn't click for the Jets that I'm expecting that they have to get going is the power play. And now finally, for the first time in the entire series, the Jet power play is back. Josh Morrissey, Mark Scheifele, Kyle Connor, Nikolai Ehlers, Gabriel Velarde. And it also allows Perfetti to be a real sort of catalyst on that second power play unit. So I'm actually liking a Scheifele 2+ point game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. This is, I mean, he is the, he's the offensive leader. And listen, he's got, I guess Kyle Connor has 12 points now in the playoffs. Scheifele missing 2, obviously, is a little less on that, but those guys sort of go hand in hand. I mean, if you wanted to even touch on Velarde being both on that line and on the power play, you'll get a better number on that. I have a hard time. I don't know what to expect from Morrissey coming back from injury, assuming that he does play. A lot of places won't even have him up because he's still, I think, referred to as a game time decision. But I think with Morrissey coming in, that diminishes the Pionk number a little bit, just because Morrissey's going to play more in that spot that Pionk was when Morrissey was out. But to me, I'm really focusing in on that top line. And then Ehlers is the other guy. And Ehlers had some great chances last game. He's certainly a guy that'll get many looks on the power play, maybe not necessarily as the trigger guy, but an Ehlers goal to get things going on that second line would be huge as well. But listen, this is, I don't want to say it's the season, because obviously if you're down 2-0, there's still, you got to win 2 more. But the Jets have to have this one tonight. The other number that you might want to look at is at the totals. I mean, this has to be a massive Connor Hellebuck game. And I mean, even something like, as I say, in the 3 wins, Dallas only got 1 or 0 goals. But even at under 2.5 for Dallas, if you like Winnipeg tonight, I don't think is a bad bet. So 2 or under for the Stars team total. But I'm looking at the big boys on the top line, kind of to have a McDavid and Draisaitl-esque game where they carry the weight. 2 points for Scheifele and a goal for Connor.
As for the NBA, quickly tonight, the Cleveland Cavaliers 5.5 point favorites on the road in Indy, and the Oklahoma City Thunder 5.5 points on the road in Denver. The Indiana Pacers, I was listening. I can't even remember what show I was listening to. What the hell was it? I can't remember. It's going to drive me nuts. Anyway, I was listening to it and said teams that have been leading by 7 points or more in the final minute are like 1,003 all time. And in the playoffs. And the Pacers are the two of the three that have done it. They've done it twice this year coming back. So the Pacers seem to find a way so that plus 5.5. It's tough because I think Cleveland's going to win this game. But if it's a close game, are the Pacers going to pull it out? You know, like, so if you want to bet the 5.5, I'd probably just take Pacers plus 162. Get the better value on that one. And then the other one I'm really interested in is how does Denver bounce back after getting crushed by the Thunder in game 2? Because that team, I think you're muted again, Huss.
Sorry, I was coughing there.
Yeah, all good.
That show that OKC put on,
yeah,
I think gave people a lot of confidence that game 1 was a fluke. I mean, home court seems to mean so much in basketball. I guess we'll see how this one rolls out tonight. I mean, I'm a Nuggets fan, so I would love to see them win this game. But, man, you look at, a 5.5 point favorite. You look at that money line. It's like, oh, geez. What's interesting about the Pacers is that they're a big favorite in this series right now. And yet they're an underdog at home tonight in this game, whereas the Knicks did the exact same thing that they did to the that they did to the Cavs, and that series is a pick'em.
Yeah, I got it yesterday. I got Knicks yesterday at minus 105. This kind of comes back around to the disrespect that we talked about with Cleveland all year.
Yeah,
right. We've been talking about this like the Winnipeg Jets thing all year. So yeah, two interesting games tonight in the association, and then that Knicks Celtics game.
So you like the
Saturday.
Knicks? I mean, you think the Knicks pull this off? I think the Knicks are going to get one at home.
The Knicks being up 2-0 and getting it at minus 105, Huss. My hands, I couldn't even stop my hands if I wanted to. Like they were going to place the bet. That was an automatic play for me. I mean, they're up any team up 2-0 and you're still getting essentially a pick 'em. I'm going to get on that, especially with the way the Knicks had won those two games. So I do like the Knicks at that number, and obviously that game doesn't go till tomorrow, so you can go hop on that if you want right now. Huss, before I let you go, we got to take a look at this Truist Championship leaderboard. I don't know if you've been keeping tabs on this, but
not today.
Keith Mitchell, 12 under, Killer Keith. Shane Lowry,
under yesterday.
Shane Lowry, my guy at 33-1, minus 11. He's a shot back. Sepp Straka has bounced back over the last few weeks. He's at 10 under. Ricky Fowler's at 8 under. He's only through 13 today. Justin Thomas right there at 7 under. Rory at 7 under. Morikawa at 7 under. Batia at 7 under. Si Woo at 7 under. And Cantlay at 7 under. What a leaderboard, man. How about that?
I love it. We've got those Cantlay top 20s. Those are looking nice. JT as well. Where is Berger?
Berger's further down. He's 3 under, man. He's 3 under.
And has he played yet today? Or
no, he's not. He's not out yet today.
Yeah. Well, no, he's on 17.
So he is on 17.
Today.
Damn.
But again, with these small fields, like he's T37 right now. There's 2 more rounds. I mean, you played well in the weekend. You can get into that top 20.
Well, he's only 2 strokes back of being T20.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
Yeah.
So this is going to come down to the thing. I see Pendy. Pendy's at 4 under. That's nice. Keegan Bradley. Keegan, that's tough today. He had a great start. 2 over today. And, Keegan's trying to make the Ryder Cup team while being the captain as well. So he's, and I think he actually might do well next week at Quail Hollow as well. Oh, Nick Taylor. Nick Taylor's 3 under today, playing 13. He's 6 under, and Corey Connors is 3 under, also at 16. I think he's 2 holes ahead of him. And Denny McCarthy had that monster 62. Hasn't gone so well today.
Yeah, where's he at right now?
He's at 6 under. He's 2 over.
2 over today, yeah.
Through 16.
Wow, that great 62 yesterday will keep you in the mix here a bit, though.
Well, this will be fun. It'll be a great leaderboard going down the stretch on Sunday, and then we'll buckle up and get her going for Wednesday and our PGA Championship. What's
coming up on WST today, Huss? Obviously, I mean, not probably 100% Jets, I guess.
Yeah, pretty much. Hacksaw's going to come on. We got it on. We didn't even, for all the ridiculousness we talked about today, we never even got into the latest on Belichick and his girlfriend. who has been now
geez.
banned from the football facility at the University of North Carolina.
She's been banned? I didn't see that this morning.
Yeah. Number one story what a crazy. And Pablo Torre, there's a clip out there. It's about 4 minutes. He did some Big J investigative work on all of this. And it is just absolutely wild, some of the stuff. If you, I can't remember what Pablo's podcast or show is called, but if you just look up Pablo Torre, he's got a clip. You got to see it for yourself. But it's one of the weirdest things that I've ever seen or ever heard. So we'll hit that. But yeah, Marty Baron's going to come on. We're going to have one of the Dallas reporters join us for the latest on the series, Jeff Hamilton. We finally, credit to Winnipeg for finally getting almost as degen as Albertans when it comes to 50-50. We finally had our first $1 million winner of
congratulations.
50-50. I know.
Hey, you're about 15 years behind, but it's nice to see you made it.
Listen, hey, for sure. So we're going to get into some of that. They've got some neat things going forward. And then, but a lot of talk about this big one tonight, a late one, 8:50. The crowd, I think, is going to be well lubricated when the puck drops tonight. And hopefully the Jets can get the job done. And we'll have a 1-1 series heading to the Lone Star State.
All right, Huss, we will let you go, and then we'll wrap things up here. People are saying that she has now been unbanned, so keep that in mind. I feel like she's a woman who gets whatever she wants. You know, I think that's it's probably how that one's working out right now. So, yeah, have a good show, buddy, and good luck tonight. Edmonton will be pulling for you.
Right on, and have a great weekend, Nasties. That Saturday night game against Vegas is going to be a heck of a lot of fun for all of you. We'll see you next week, guys.
There you go. That is Huss, Winnipeg Sports Talk, coming up here right away. We have the oil stream. It's going to be a fun oil stream today. There's lots to get to on that one. I did put together, so I think we still need Jay's play of the day, and then we'll get to Jay's play of the day a little bit earlier on. But as we were breaking down those hockey games, I put together a lock shot partner parlay that the number's plus 227. So it's not like a huge number, but I like it. It is Rantanen point. That's it. It's not a hat trick in a period. It's a Rantanen point. It's a Scheifele point, and it's a Matthew Tkachuk point. That's it. Rantanen, Scheifele, Tkachuk points. Plus 227. And you know what sounds crazy right now? The one I'm most worried about is Rantanen. And he's been in on 12 straight goals. I don't know why, but I'm like, oh, is this the night that Rantanen slows down? But hopefully not. Rantanen point, Scheifele point, Tkachuk point. It's boosted up to plus 227. That is the Lock Shot Partner Parlay. Dusty's play of the day, which I threw out on Twitter earlier. Kyle Connor to score a goal was plus 129. They boosted it for me just because. Plus 140. And then the early bird bet of the day, Panthers, Cavs, both to win, boosted to plus 136. I'm biased because it's my board, but I'm liking this board tonight. It's nothing too crazy. There's no 4-1, 5-1s. I'll leave that up to the DGen den. I know they're going to be coming in with something 6, 7, 8, 9, 10-1. Sprinkle that one, ride with them as well. But I like this board right now. Kyle Connor goal, plus 140. Rantanen, Scheifele, Tkachuk points, plus 227. Panthers, Cavs, plus 136. If you're listening, you're like, you know what, I might have to dabble in this myself, and I haven't used these codes on these free bets yet. Do that right now. Download the app. Very easy, very smooth. Or go to playalberta.ca. Deposit $20. Use the code 100sports. You get a $100 free bet. Deposit $5. Use the code YAG50, YG50. You get a $50 free bet. It's for new and existing users, all right? And it's so you put it in, and then an option will pop up and say, bet it now. Or later on, if you pick a play over on the right side where it pops up on your bet slip, it'll say use free bet. So there's that option there as well. That is the Lock Shop, presented to you by, like the rest of Edmonton Sports Talk, our great partners at Play Alberta. The oil stream is on the way. This was an excellent Lock Shop today. We even had my mom in the chat, for goodness sakes. That might be the best Lock Shop of the year. That was a really fun one. Oil stream. Can we keep the momentum going? Find out with myself and Tom Gazzola. Thank you very much for joining us on the Lock Shop today. Best of luck tonight and throughout the weekend, and we will talk to you on Monday.